This report particularly highlights the barriers faced by the exporters of the seafood items and what are the opportunities that lie ahead. So starting with the economic and social indicators, Pakistan's GDP growth is lower than the GDPs of the ASEAN countries. And as evident from the table here, that Singapore is dominating the market. So basically, I took ASEAN ASEAN plus 5, and this depicts that the top 5 economies of ASEAN and the comparison with Pakistan, and where does Pakistan lie in terms of economic and social indicators. So Singapore dominates the market, the reason being that their environment is very business friendly, and they have skilled workforce, and they're in their good strategic location. So as the name suggests, ASEAN is a group of 10 heterogeneous economies, and it's the 5th largest economic zones in the world and 3rd largest in Asia. So the idea behind this study is to, explore the Pakistan's Vision East Asia policy, which is more towards Southeast Asia. It also aligns goals with other East Asian countries like China, but particularly the Vision East Asia is more focused towards Southeast Asian countries. For better understanding, we can say that Pakistan can unlock potential that through a Vision East Asia policy and explore the potential that the policy offers. On the other hand, ASEAN has a Look West policy, which is more integrated towards South Asian countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. So Pakistan's total exports in 2022 was $30.6 billion. So the ranking was 63 out of 133 countries. So the graph shows that Pakistan's economic complexity is very low as compared to other economic complexity indexes of other ASEAN countries, mainly because the less diversified products that Pakistan produces. ASEAN is the 5th largest export destination for Pakistan and 2nd largest import sourcing market. So Pakistan accounts for 5.1% of exports of ASEAN, whereas imports are 12.6% of the total imports made from the ASEAN market collectively. So the bilateral trade has been in favor of the ASEAN market since at least the last 5 years, as shown by the negative trade balance. Just to quote that, recently Pakistan has recorded a trade surplus of $75 million. So this is primarily due to the improved remittances, but stable imports and stable exports and the export expansion that the country is doing. So this CAD is current account balance is positive for the month of August. So a high volume of trade with Indonesia and Malaysia corresponds to Pakistan's trade agreement with these countries, as shown in the right graph. On the other hand, low trade with Thailand and Singapore reflects the absence of any comprehensive bilateral trade regime that can complement bilateral trade. But contrastly, the FTAs that Pakistan is currently negotiating or is in line with the negotiations list. Pakistan, Malaysia, and Indonesia are not, offering the same product list that Pakistan offers. For example, there is a disparity in the negotiations list. Pakistan is offering around 90% of the products that Malaysia exports, but Malaysia currently offers the offer list of the Malaysia is not even in the top 10 list for Pakistan. Now, specifically why we highlight the seafood sector. Seafood sector is the 3rd largest export product for Pakistan and contributes 8.6% to the overall exports made to the ASEAN market. Some of the ASEAN members, such as Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam, who buy aquatic animals from Pakistan, are also among the top countries that sell to it, displaying indications of sector-wise complementarity. So mapping out trade potential, as indicated in the pie chart on the left, is that total untapped trade potential is $304 million. And current exports are only $136.4 million. So apart from this, there are some tariffs, average tariffs as per the ITC trade map data, some tariffs faced by the ASEAN countries, and the non-tariff measures, the certification requirements and SPS hits fish foods, while the technical barriers to trade affect vessels. So there are also, as per the FBR duty calculator, there are also high duties faced by the importers who import machinery to expand their export base and use that machinery for the production of exports. So the rationale behind this is that we have employed a model. So it's basically an export product dynamic index. It first uses the RCA estimation. And based on those RCA estimation, we have made 4 quadrants that shows that what are the countries that lie in lost opportunities, rising star, retreat, and falling star. So now using the RCA index and EPD index, we employ the market development strategy for Pakistani seafood products in the ASEAN market. So the results highlight that Thailand and Thailand has a potential market for frozen for live fish, and there is a lot of potential for the frozen fish market in the ASEAN countries. We have also gathered some data for prospective, conducted a simulation results, and also gathered data for prospective trade. So trade creation for Pakistan, if the simulation tariffs are 0% for the entire product list at the tariff lines. So trade creation for Pakistan is $2 billion, and the total trade creation is 1.76, and trade diversion is $237 million. The total increase in trade value would be about 155.5% if ASEAN imports in the prospective market like Pakistan, and trade of 1,171 commodities will be affected. So the results that my report highlights is that Pakistan has the opportunity to negotiate tariff access for its seafood products, aiming for parity with the tariffs that ASEAN imposes on similar imports from India, China, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. So after establishing a substantial presence in these categories, Pakistan can proceed to finalize negotiations for a free trade agreement. The overall trade potential for the top 25 seafood products exported by Pakistan to the ASEAN market, as classified at the HS06 digit level, amounts to $294.6 million. However, Pakistan exports only $126.9 million worth of seafood exports. Additionally, to assess the effects of a hypothetical FTA on Pakistan exports, assuming that ASEAN eliminates all tariffs, 0% tariff rates, a simulation rate for Pakistan, a tariff and trade simulation was performed. And that shows that the trade can be increased by 156%, reaching a prospective value of $3.2 billion. So all in all, it is essential for Pakistan to protect its manufacturing employment opportunities. Any FTA with ASEAN or any other nation must be evaluated based on its potential to generate additional jobs, as the PBC has always recommended that job creation, import substitution, and export expansion, and enhance government revenues before it is signed. Pakistan possesses significant potential in various sectors, including other sectors like cereals, pharmaceuticals, edible fruits, and vegetables, with the trade potential estimated at $4.8 billion. For the top 25 products made at HS06 level. So, lastly, I would like to thank FNF Pakistan and Prime Institute for the opportunity. Thank you so much.